Live in Microsoft Mesh. This is me, Jamie, and over here is Ian Hamilton.
Hello, welcome.
Look at him.
Welcome.
You're looking good, Ian.
Oh, can I interlock my fingers? Does this work?
Let's find out. It's not looking like it unless... Are you doing it right now?
I was, yeah. My fingers are totally interlocked.
Yeah, no, it's not really showing up. That's me doing it too. Like it kind of does like there's still space between my hands, right?
Yep, just slightly.
So Ian's in Arkansas and I'm in Sheffield in the United Kingdom. But obviously there's the usual caveats with HoloLens, like the field of view is very, very small. But other than that, it does kind of feel a bit like Ian standing in my living room, which is pretty magical. And right now we're in Mesh, the preview version of what Mesh can do. And Ian's bringing in a 3D asset, a 3D model of the world, a globe, if you will, which you can just put on the table. Oh, and then if I turn off my eraser, turn it off, and put on the grab tool, I can just grab it myself. I can make it bigger, pass it back over to him.
Yeah, the responsiveness here is just perfect, it seems. I mean, it's hard to say it's perfect, but instantaneous, I don't know. It feels really good.
It feels very, very seamless. And we can do things like we can demonstrate that the moon orbits around the Earth because of its gravitational pull. And that there may be two massive cataclysmic events in our future. First of all, we may indeed be invaded by giant hermit crabs that stalk the Earth, and our defenses are just not prepared for it in any way, shape, or form. Or, of course, the Earth's gravitational pull may become so big that the moon grows, which is scientifically correct, and then smashes into the Earth. And then, of course, the two may happen at the same time, and I may make the crab even bigger. And then we have some real problems on our hands. Or we've either that, or we've just pitched the perfect video game. And maybe I could take the Xbox controller, and we could just brainstorm about how this game might play.
This, of course, has really good positional audio as well. I can tell exactly where you are in the room, even when I'm not looking at you.
And I can walk around while you're talking just to demonstrate that. Whoa. I mean, the thing I said in my preview was that, this is a fairly standard set of features for like a social or collaborative VR application, but it really does feel like in AR, this has like several more benefits than in VR, right? Like, I love being still in my world. I love being able to, like, let's say me and you had like a technical issue. I could just jump on my phone to Slack without any kind of extra barriers in the way, and we could talk it through there. I can just quickly walk into another room in my house if I want to go and grab something quickly. It's kind of crazy. And then, of course, you've got like the upcoming features they're talking about, like VR support. One day, hopefully, Quest 2 users might be able to join us in here, or people on Microsoft Teams meetings, or just in their smartphones as well. It's a very, very cool foundation for what HoloLens could do. And I said in my preview last week, it really feels like it's starting to deliver on the promise of AR even before, the hardware is really there, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool to see this platform here. It's kind of a sign that Microsoft is serious about mixed reality over the long term, even if we've been wondering where Windows MR's, next steps are. This platform kind of proves that they're not sitting it out completely. They're preparing for the future anyways. I've got my cat here. Here, let's see. Come here, kitty. All right. So this is kind of my test in VR too, where I want to be able to play with my cat or interact with my cat. He's going to attack me because he's in a playful mood right now. But being able to grab the cat, do something with the cat, or have someone come into the room and gesture to them and then come back right to our meeting is something VR can't do just yet, and it's what we're waiting for the software to get much smarter on. And it's nice to see sort of AR kind of has that without any software. I can interact with the normal room without there having to be loads and loads of software there to make that possible.
And it's also nice to think about ideas like, say, our twice weekly download podcast, which we do on Mondays and Thursdays. How cool would it be to have like variants of that where we just get to sit on our own sofas, put on a pair of glasses, and then we're all just sitting along the sofa ourselves, right? And there's just so many possibilities with that kind of stuff. I'd love to see if we eventually get any kind of like weird like Xbox support in there. Like maybe you can get like that's something that HoloLens was kind of built on in the first place, right? We saw people doing like Microsoft what's it called, Minecraft demos and different ideas like that. There's just a whole lot of potential with mesh. Obviously, there was the Pokemon Go thing that Microsoft teased last week.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. We just toured through all of the features that are there now, and it's not like, so spatial is the one. Have you done spatial yet? Have you tried spatial?
I have not tried spatial myself, but I'm aware of its standing in the community.
Yeah, one of the things spatial has is sort of like Google Poly integration, and obviously Poly is going away, but you can just speak a word and have that object come into your space. I'm feeling uncomfortable. You're a little too close to me right now, doing things to my face.
Just giving you a little mustache and a little red crown.
There's there's like what, a half a dozen example. There's 8 sample 3D objects here, and then there's objects we can get from OneDrive as well. But obviously, speaking an object and having it just populate into the space is something an app like this needs. Spatial has that right now, but I don't know how long it's going to have that since Poly's going bye-bye.
One thing they said when I was doing a demo of this last week was they said, as you can imagine, we might be making future versions of the HoloLens, which is kind of a no-brainer. And they said, right now, Alex Kipman, technical fellow at Microsoft, who's responsible for a lot of the design in HoloLens and other mixed reality devices, they actually have their meetings with product renders like this right now, because obviously we're in the middle of a global pandemic, and not only does AR help reduce some of the distance across the globe, like it's doing for me and Ian right now, but when we're all meant to be staying at home and not having much human contact, it's a really fantastic device for that too.
Yeah, I think one of the things they were suggesting is they've got some adaptive rendering tech so that maybe they could, by default, load a low-quality 3D model and then sort of scale it up as needed.
Yeah, because it otherwise uses renders from the cloud for really high-quality assets, right?
Yeah, like right now, it's very low quality. I can see the panels on this thing, but I would love to see one of those dynamic 3D models. The hardware has so much to catch up, and that's why mesh is such a cool idea, since it works across both. You could have a person with a $3,000 HoloLens or a $3,500 HoloLens and a $200 Quest, and theoretically get them into the same space doing stuff. That's exactly what Spatial's pitch is, as well, of course.
Yeah, and it's just, why not start now, right? Like, people keep talking about how far away, affordable consumer AR that actually works is, but at the same time, all the work Microsoft's doing right now will be relevant when that day finally gets here. And so, VR had that kind of content problem of launching, and then all the applications we wanted had to come afterwards, and there's, many of them still aren't here, but AR might have like this kind of different, more unique, beneficial scenario of turning up with the hardware when all the software's already there, which is a cool thought.
Well, that's one of the things I think we can talk about probably on one of our download sessions is when we talk about the $3,000 Apple headset, the proposed price tag, what they're going to target. That price isn't absurd to me when you've got a complete computing platform, right? The MacBook Pro is in that price range. There's that's how much the early computers were very, several $1,000s. But you need to have utility. You need to have a lot of things you can do with it. And so many of the platforms right now have been software constrained.
So yeah, that is Microsoft Mesh. That is a preview of the preview app that is available on the platform right now. Obviously, when I say it's available to anyone on the platform, not everyone can get the HoloLens. It's an enterprise level device. It's very, very expensive, very, very hard to get a hold of. But it's a cool glimpse of the future. Yeah, and we'll be looking more into this tech a little later this month. So Ian, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, cool. Glad we were able to do this.
I'll give you a wave.
All right, wait. Rock, scissors, paper. We got to do it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Ah. 3, 2, 1, go. It's like there's a bit of delay which makes it look like you're reading mine, then copying it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ah, you beat me.
Ah, ding. I win.
All right, I'll see you later.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone.